atheism.
Yeah, if you're a Christian atheist, please write in to notquitereligious@gmail.com and let us know, or hit our Instagram or Facebook, because I think we're both fascinated by how you can...
I know of a pastor who considers himself an atheist. I don't know him personally.
Okay.
But he's a friend of a friend.
He's
a pastor.
Is he Unitarian, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean...
But Unitarians allow for that. Like, you can straight up tell, like, and be an atheist in that denomination, from what I understand.
Unitarianism. I mean, we're just hitting everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole...
You're like, I want to tell my story, and we end up at...
I love it.
Waco. Unitarians.
Yep.
It looks like we're in a few more minutes if there's... I guess I want to just sort of finish up with, like, boxes can be useful, right? Like, people put other people in boxes all the time, not even necessarily philosophically or theologically. Like, what's the first thing you ask people when you meet them? Like, besides their name, like, what do you do for a living? Right? Because you're like trying to figure out, we put people in socioeconomic classes, right? Like, oh, you're white collar or you're blue collar.
Right.
And then I think philosophically and theologically, there is a benefit to putting people in boxes, because I come at my dialogues with people of faith much different if they're hardcore Calvinists versus someone who's more mystic or Eastern or Orthodox. Because in my opinion, Calvinism is the most dangerous form of Christianity I can think of, and we can get into that in another episode. But for like someone who's coming at me and trying to convert me back to Christianity, and they're coming at it from like this hardcore Calvinist place, I'm like, well, I'm going to attack back and try to destroy young Earth creationism and like destroy where like someone like you, I'm like, man, it's really cool that you have faith. I don't have that faith, but I'm glad you do. And I'm not going to try to make you lose it. Where like a hardcore Calvinist, I'm like, dude, can I get you to become an atheist?
Because you think that there's something destructive about being in Calvinist communities. Is that fair? Like, there's something dehumanizing about
being
in
just
those churches.
The otherness.
Yeah.
Right? Whenever you have an other, and I guess maybe that's all fundamentalism, but to teach that some people from before the foundations of the world are predestined for heaven, and the others are just vessels of wrath. Like, and simultaneously, like, love everyone. Well, why should you love a vessel of wrath? Like, that person was created to be destroyed and then eternally punished for the glory of God. And just kind of like, what?
And why are so many people nicer than God?
Yeah. Or more just in the hardcore Calvinists, and they would say that's not true. So it's useful to put people in boxes. And, atheists, like, are they a militant atheist like Dawkins, who, wants to shame all people of faith? Because you're going to approach that person, or maybe you're not going to approach that person, versus like, are they someone who's an atheist by default, in which case maybe they need to be saved and they haven't really thought about philosophy, and like yourself, like, you were nothing and then you were a Christian. So you might want to approach an atheist who's nothing by default, is like, hey, I got this Jesus thing, might work out for you, versus someone who's like, well, I'm just a secular humanist. Like, okay, well, let's have a conversation about how we can partner together to feed the homeless.
Right. Right. Well, I think that's good. That's a good episode. That's a lot of fodder to go off of for everyone. Thanks for listening, and next time we'll remember the name of the coffee.
Yeah, and probably have a different coffee brand. So we'll have to shout out what we had. Oh, how was the coffee today, by the way?
The coffee was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good. I give it 8.5 out of 10.
Wow. Because before I was using a large national brand that isn't Dunkin' Donuts, and you were like, it's all right.
Yeah, I would give that large national brand that isn't Dunkin' Donuts 7.5, which is higher than most coffee snobs.
Yeah, I picked up a Dunkin' Donuts cold brew this morning, because I didn't want to drive all the way to the other chain that isn't Dunkin' Donuts. And like, I guess we could just say Starbucks because I'm gonna like.
It's funnier if we don't, but you broke it. So
sorry.
The Mermaid Company.
Seattle's best.
Oh, that's like the off.
That was the. Do you remember Borders?
Yep, I love Borders.
I loved Borders too.
It's so sad that Borders doesn't exist. Yeah, it's one of the saddest things.
It was like my go-to bookstore in Braintree. Yep. It was a 5-mile walk from my house, and I would do it just to hang out. In high school, I would like bring my backpack and my homework and my little CD player. Yeah. Anyway, that was the brand of coffee that Borders sold. Right. So yeah, off-brand Starbucks. Yeah. It's the RC Cola.
Solid 7. Seattle's best is a solid 7.
So I was disappointed in myself for getting a Dunkin' Donuts cold brew.
Yeah, you should have been.
Yeah.
I mean, no,
I mean, America runs on it, but it's just way too sweet for me. So I figured out that for a medium, which is like a Starbucks, I don't even think Starbucks has a cup that competes with Dunkin' Donuts medium. I only need 1 pump of sugar because I don't know, it's like sugar on steroids there.
Okay. Yeah. So if you get Dunkin' and then 2 pumps of sugar, next time
you're gonna have diabetes.
Immediate diabetes, and our episode's going to be everything from Waco to Druids to Amish, which we didn't need 2 pumps of sugar to get there. So I have no idea. Maybe we'll just end up on the moon with who's ever owning Twitter at that point.
Does Musk own Twitter yet?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so, yeah. It happened. So. We did take a week off because you had recovery from Holy Week and needed some stuff. So, which is also good for me because anyway, I really appreciate you guys listening and interacting with us. If you wouldn't mind commenting and like starring our podcast, it actually makes a big difference on the advertisements we get. And some of the advertisements have been like,
excruciating.
Yeah, so we have no choice currently about which ads run. Some of them have been like Airbnb, and others have been for sexual dysfunction. So if you're listening with kids, we do apologize for that, though it's a natural thing, and maybe anyway. Yeah, so like, comment, share, rate us on your podcast apps. Do you have any last words, Matt?
No, I don't. 8.5 for the coffee today.
All right. Have a great week, everyone.